Take a comfortable seat, sit up tall. Your eyes can stay open, or you can close the eyes, but do start to connect to your breath. So maybe taking a few deeper breaths in and out. So the breath also, you can imagine the breath, we oxygenate the system, we hydrate the system, we oxygenate, we hydrate the heart, that the breath is essential to this practice. Deep breath in, and just let it out. And one more, in through the mouth or through the nose. And then just let the breath out and let the body melt, soften. We'll start with one Om. So Om is also, it hydrates, you can imagine, it hydrates the mind. So the mind stops jumping, running, chasing, looking for water. When we Om, it brings us back to neutral, steadies the mind. So you can listen or chant along one Om. This class is 1 hour. Take a deep breath in. A deep inhale, and then exhale. Open your eyes, find your breath. So welcome, some of you from New York, some of you from Europe. It's cool to have a little crew of people here. These are always available for replay on Kenny Graham Yoga, Functional Yoga on Facebook. Come onto your hands and knees, onto all fours. Take the knees a little wider than your hips, hands a little wider than your shoulders. Spread the fingers, grip the floor. We're going to go cat-cow here. Inhale, extend your heart, chest forward, cow. And then exhale, draw your belly, ribs in, cat. So back and forth 3 times. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Grip the floor, press the hands down, push the floor away through the knees, through the hands, and then back to a neutral spine. So we're going cat-cow again, but this time we're going to hold the cow. Inhale, extend the heart forward. Just go to the place where you start to feel the spine compress in the back of the body. Find your breath. You might lightly tone the belly in. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just soften the pose. Just enough effort to hold you. One more deep breath in. Exhale, soften. Deep breath in. Here we go into cat. 3 breaths here in cat. Hands pressed down, belly draws in. Inhale into the back of the body. Exhale, soften. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, belly lightly draws in. Last one, inhale. Keep the belly in. Notice where you feel the breath go. And then on your exhale, open the knees up. Sit back, child's pose. 2 breaths here. On your inhales, take the breath all the way to the sit bones. On your exhales, just allow yourself to melt, to soften. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, soften. Inhale up to all fours, hands, knees. Down dog. Knees a little wider than the hips. Hands a little wider than the shoulders. Slide the knees back. Inhale, up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And here you might even start to pedal the legs to hydrate the tissue on the back of the lower leg, the calves, maybe up through the back of the upper leg, hamstrings. So we're here 30 seconds, or you can think 3 to 5 breaths. Maybe you keep the pedal, or you might hold the pose with bent knees or working straight legs. On the exhale, lightly tone your belly in. On the inhale, fill yourself up, and then on your next exhale, keeping the belly toned in, soften the pose. Soften the effort. Let the neck grow long. The hips gently root back. One more full breath here. Just let it go, soft. Inhale, left leg up. Okay. Exhale, step the left leg between the right hand, right foot. Slide the left foot over to the right, and then come down, bend the elbows onto the left hip. Now before you go further, lift your hips up a little, shift the left hip down, roll the flesh down the mat, straighten the right leg, and then come down onto your forearms. So a few breaths here. This is called fallen sage. 2 minutes, fallen sage. So in yin, we hold the poses. So 2 minutes here. If it feels like too much twist, you can lean to your left more, open the pose up. If you want more, you can shift the left hip down, turn to your left more. So not overdoing, but noticing where you feel the stretch. There'll be compression in the spine as you twist. There'll be some probably stretch around the tissue of the spine, or maybe through the obliques, the side of the body, or the belly. You might even get some in the hip. On your inhales, fill up. On your exhales, soften. Halfway there. If at any point it starts to feel like too much, back yourself out. So yin, we hold the poses. Using whatever muscle strength that feels appropriate or feels like that keeps you safe. But then softening where it's unnecessary to grip or hold. So a couple more breaths here. Now from here, we're going to just roll, turn to the right, have your strap nearby, turn to your right, and then come right onto your back. With your strap, you're going to strap the right foot. So there's different ways to do that. You might just take the strap the foot up. Or you might make a loop in the strap. So you loop the strap. And then you're going to take the strap around your back. So at the shoulder blades. And you're going to use the strap as support so you don't have to use your arms. So right up on the shoulder blades. And we're going to be here 4 minutes. So strap foot, use the strap as a sling, or use your hands behind the thigh. Or put your leg up on the couch. If your knee bends a little bit, no problem. But we're looking to tension the tissue on the back of the left leg. You might get it into the calf, but we're going hamstring. And it doesn't have to be super intense, just 5 to 50%. Really infusing the breath into the pose. And on your exhale, it's just really letting the breath go, with tension to melt. And if at some point it feels like too much, you can bend the knee or let the leg fall away. If you feel like you want more, you can always draw the leg in further. So it's your pose, your body is just enough here. Notice where you feel the line of tension. So it's literally where you feel the stretch, where you feel that line of tension is where the pose, where we start to hydrate. If you do too much stretch, you can dehydrate. You can overdo it. So it's just enough here. Just like the plant, just enough water to grow it. Allowing your exhales to melt. Allowing your inhales to fill. So yin yoga poses will be held. Can you be with the next few breaths here? One more full inhale. Exhale all the way out. Soften. Inhale. And then exhale. Free the leg. Lower the left leg to the floor. And we're going to take just 1 minute here, resting back. So your arms can go to your side or hands on your belly. But I want you to just notice the sensation through the left leg. Maybe even all the way up into the left hip. Can you feel more in that leg? This would be like the experience of prana or chi or blood flow returning to that area. Just for 1 minute, resting back. In yin, we call this the rebound. Just the rebound, catching the effects of creating some tension in the tissue. Noticing where the body is, where the mind is. You might even bring your awareness to the heart. Just slowing it down. And take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Bend both knees. All right. Here, if you like to, you can use a block for this next one. So I'll show you how it goes. The hips go up on the block. You don't have to use the block. Left leg goes up, strap the foot. Keep your right leg on the floor straight. You're gonna have to shift your hips slightly to the left on the block so you can roll onto the right hip. Ready? So we're coming onto the outer right hip, take the left leg over. Now if it's too much on the block, keep the hips on the floor. Three minutes. Now some of you, if you can go peace fingers to your big toe, feel free. For this one, we're targeting the spine, and you might even get some stretch through the hamstring. Even a little IT band, maybe glute. If it's too much with the straight leg, you might bend your left knee. If you feel like you need more support, put a bolster or a big pillow on the inner edge of that left leg. If at some point it feels like, oh, I need to engage a little bit to support, you might engage the glutes, tone the belly. But I want you to think like the sensation of the stretch is just anywhere from 5 to 50%. It doesn't have to be super intense. Just noticing if there's anywhere you're holding tension that's unnecessary. And if at any point you feel like, oh, I need to come out of the pose sooner, it's your practice. Come out sooner, take a rebound. We'll catch up. So just about halfway there. If you tend to overdo or work too hard, ease up. Give yourself some space to be able to breathe and just feel. So a little bit of water at a time, hydrating this tissue. On your next inhale, fill up. On your next exhale, soften. Like cool water, warm water, just let it release. One more. And then from here, you're gonna roll right off the block, right towards your belly. Bend your left knee. Come onto your forearms. You can move the block out of the way for a moment. So here, left knee is in like a frog pose. We're gonna go 1 minute here. It's cobra. It's sort of like a frog cobra. So you get a bend in the left knee, and you might take the knee up a little bit higher. We're gonna create some compression around the spine. You might get a stretch through the left groin. 1 minute. Cobra. One leg frog. Now, if some of you want more, you can come up onto the hands, press up. I'm going to stay lower on the forearms. We're halfway there. So we're not overdoing. You're doing enough that you can relax into the pose, just enough that you can relax in. the tension in the tissue. Again, anywhere from 5 to 50%. We're not chasing the pose, but really recognizing, tuning into sensation. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. One more deep breath in. And then exhale. Come down to your belly. Slide your left leg back. Rebound. 30 seconds here. It's on your belly. Take a deep breath. And then on the exhale, just let your bones get heavy into the earth. Where are you gripping? Where are you holding? Can you let it go? So bring the hands to the sides of your body. Come up onto your knees. Panda pose. 1 minute. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, twist. Take your right forearm to the floor or come onto the shoulder. 1 minute. Panda. Now, if it's too much weight on your neck or in the head, you can shift your hips back some. So find the place that feels right to you. Top arm, you might keep the elbow bent, stretch the arm out, or wrap the left arm around your back. Just noticing where you feel this. You might come further onto the shoulder, or you might do less if it's too much. Letting the exhale melt the tension in the toes, in the fingers, in the jaw. Inhale, rise up. Hands a little wider than the shoulders. And then we're going to take it back to a downward facing dog. One more time, stretch it out. Because we got to get to the other side. So stretch out your down dog. We're going 3 breaths here, down dog. If it feels good to pedal, pedal. If it feels good to shorten your stance. That will change the stretch and the pose. Sometimes I even turn my feet out to change the tension. When I turn my feet out, it gets more the lateral hamstring. So feel free. Explore it. Don't force it. On your exhales, really let it melt. Okay, feet towards each other. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg between the left hand, left knee. Walk the right foot out to the right, and then lower the hips to the floor. Lower the forearms down to the floor. Fallen sage, 2 minutes. So if you want more, you can bring the right leg higher up. I'm going to flip it so you can see it if you need to. So if you want more, right leg can go higher up, left hip can go down. So you may feel this in the spine. I feel it even in the right hamstring. If it's too much in low back, open up to the left. If you want more, twist to the right. But even during the day, we tend to sort of move, whatever, coffee, alcohol, but we tend to dehydrate the system. So if we take moments of pause, drink enough water, move and tension the tissue here in the body, we start to hydrate the system, connect to the breath. We start to feed the system like the nourishment of prana, chi. And all different movements are important. Sometimes we hold poses like this, sometimes more active, engaging muscle. But I'm always trying to think of new ways to move. Because the body also, it likes repetition, but it also thrives in diversity. It's important. So fallen sage. One more full breath in. Exhale, melt it. You know what I mean? Just let it go. Then inhale. Come up onto your hands and then come onto your back. However you get there is cool. You can do it fancy or no frills. So here we're going 4 minutes. We're going to strap the leg. So strap the foot around the ball of the foot or hold the back of the thigh. If you got the strap working, you might even take the strap, like I said, around your shoulder blades like we did last time. You got to slide yourself in there. Take the strap around the shoulder blades. And then hold here. I like this one because then I don't have to work so hard. Foot can be further away, knee can even be bent. If your knee's bent and you feel the stretch, good. If your leg's straight and it feels too intense or starts pulling the low back, take your leg further away or bend the knee slightly. So about 4 minutes here. Listening to your body and adjusting the pose as feels right for you. So important. So oftentimes we're like working to create certain shapes and poses, and not every shape works for everybody. And that has to do with like different tension. We all have different tension in our tissue, different places. And we also have different shaped bones, different shaped joints. Not just from each other, but even from our left, right. You might even notice this side feels more open, free, or a little bit stiffer, tighter, less hydrated than the other side. Just noticing if there's anywhere that's gripping, even the breath. On your exhales, really let the exhale go. On your inhales, really let it just fill up. But if the exhale doesn't go all the way, the inhale can't naturally rebound. So nice full inhales help to oxygenate, but it requires a nice full letting go exhale. And if it ever helps to breathe out the mouth, just let it go. Use that. So almost there. 1 minute to go. But when we come out of this one, we'll take a minute rebound just to tune in to the inner sensations, the feeling in the tissue. Take another big breath in. Let it all the way out. One more inhale. Exhale. Imagine all the bones getting heavy. The ribs getting heavy. And then when you're ready, bend the knee, release the strap. Stretch the legs out. In 1 minute, rebounding. Just noticing the sensation in the legs. Noticing if there's any grip, any pull away up from the earth that you can let go and feel safe to let go. Feeling the back of the skull, the back of the ribs, the sacrum, the calves, the heels, the feet on the floor. You might bring your awareness to your heart or even to the third eye. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it. Inhale, bend both knees. Okay, we're going to go twist on our back. So block under the hips, but take the hips over to the right side of the block more so you're ready for the twist. Left leg up, strap the foot. Hold both ends of the strap in the left hand. Shift hips right, drop leg, right leg to the left. Timer started, 3 minutes. If you need more support, put your leg up on a bolster or a block. If it's too much for the low back or any part of the body with the block under the hips, get rid of it. So I want you to think just about 5 to 50% stretch. It doesn't have to be super intense. Like for me, I feel it in my hamstring, lateral hamstring. I feel it around the thoracolumbar, the tissue around the spine. I feel some compression in the spine where the vertebrae, the transverse processes, the wings of the vertebrae are meeting above and below. Again, it doesn't have to be super intense. And if you need to bend your right knee, bend your right knee. Halfway there. If it feels like too much twist, you can lift the leg higher, or you can turn your body more towards the twist, the upper body to the left. Or prop your leg up. Inner edge of the right leg can prop. You can be with your next few breaths here. Taking in the oxygen either through the mouth or nose, and exhale. Softening. I'm really big into this sensation of melt, where if there's anywhere unnecessary gripping, you might even notice, oh, I didn't even know there was tension there. When the exhale reveals it. One more inhale. And then exhale, roll to your left. Use your arms as necessary. Holy cow. And come all the way onto the belly. Move your block. Take your right leg up into a frog. I'm going to flip it so you can see it. You stay right where you are. So right leg's in a frog. Forearms in like Sphinx or Cobra. If you want more, prop it up or lift yourself higher. Just 2 minutes here. So half frog, you might bring the knee higher, half cobra. If you want more in the inner right thigh, you might lean to the right. If you want more through the spine, you might come up higher. If you feel like that you need the support of the low belly, use the low belly. Draw it in. If you feel like you're too high, slide your elbows forward. You got so many options. Play with the pose. Explore it for yourself. This is the best thing we can do, I feel. Like, start to learn it for ourselves so you don't need somebody to be teaching it to you. That you've taught it to yourself, you understand in your body. It's good to have a guide and the practice together, but you got to really feel for yourself. Just about there. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, melt it. The tension, the fear. Inhale, hydrate it. Exhale, just let the breath flow out. Lean to your left, take the right leg back. Come on to your belly. Rest down 30 seconds here. Just letting the floor hold you, noticing the sensation of the posture. Noticing if there's anywhere you're gripping, holding. Deep breath in. And then exhale, bones heavy into the earth. Gravity's great. It makes us stronger. And we can also use it as a blanket of support to release and to ground ourselves. Come up, inhale to all fours, hands, knees. Now we're going to twist it one more time here. Panda. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist left forearm or to the left shoulder. If it feels like too much on your neck or shoulder, you can shift your hips back a little bit. Top arm can stretch out, or you can bend the elbow up, press even the hand down. I do keep a little tone through the left side of my rib cage, a little more yang through the left side of my rib cage, and go a little more yin in the breath. It's 1 minute, noticing if there's anywhere holding it's unnecessary to hold. I'm using my top hand with very little leverage to press, draw myself open a little bit. I took the right leg out because it's giving me a good stretch up through the upper thoracic. One more breath. Exhale, melt. Inhale, up and out. One more, down dog, stretch it out. Up and back. Feel free to shorten your stance, turn your feet in, turn your feet out. I'm going to turn my feet out and take a funny short stance to bring some tension to the outer edge of the leg. But explore your dog. One more big breath in. Then exhale, soften it. Come down to your hands and knees. Sit back on your heels. So, if you got it, you can use a blanket at the wall, because we're going to take a thigh stretch at the wall, one thigh stretch. Or you can slide your mat over to the wall. And feel free to flip, roll, fold your mat up. So we're going to go right leg up first. So right foot goes up the wall, point the foot. So you're there. You might already have a thigh stretch. You can stay on your hands. Or step the left foot forward. Now here, you take forearm to thigh. You might say, okay, my right thigh is now stretching. That's our target, front of the right thigh. Or you might come up higher, hands on the thigh, hands on your hips, or even the arms overhead. We're working to tension the right thigh. Wherever you're at, cool, 2 minutes. But whatever pose you're doing should be targeting the tissue of the right thigh, 5 to 50% effort. Be kind to yourself. Really notice, tune into the sensation. It doesn't have to be super intense to be a yoga pose. If there's somewhere that you feel like I need to tone or engage to support this, feel free. But then notice, can you also keep coming back to that feeling of melt, softening? Imagine the edges of the pose and the flow, the inner flow of the pose, like moon. Man, I like this one. Put a big bolster right here. Let me just lay right on top of it. And so just about halfway there. Halfway. After this one, we're going to do down dog again, right here at the wall. Because I want you to notice, after you stretch the thigh, the difference from left to right in the entirety of the leg in down dog. 30 seconds to go. Don't overdo it. So rather than don't try to push yourself to the wall, come up to the level that you can meet yourself and meet the tension. One more deep breath in. Oh, that feels good. Exhale. Soften. Last one. Deep breath in. And then exhale. Touch the floor. Move far away enough from the wall that you can take a down dog. Use this to a diagnostics just to feel. So we take the rebound in down dog and notice the difference from the left, right side. Is there a difference? What's the energy in that leg? Which leg is more rooted all the way down through the foot? Which hip seems to release more? Which thigh bone moves back easier? Because what we do to the front of the body, it'll affect the back of the body. What we do to the back of the body will affect the front of the body. It's just like working core. If you work glutes, hamstrings, it's going to help support the core, the front, even the front of the body, the sides of the body. All right, second side. Here we go. Left leg up the wall. You might already be in your stretch. You say, hey, that's good enough for me today. Or take the right foot forward. You might be in your stretch. Or come up on the thigh. Once you meet the stretch, be there. It's 2 minutes. This side gets a little more bound up for me because of an old day snowboard accident, knee surgery. But surprisingly, I can do everything. It's just this tissue gets tighter. And I want to honor that too, because I believe that tissue on this left side is tighter because of scar tissue, because of being cut open on the left side. But also tighter because it could just be helping to support the knee. Give more support on the side where there was the injury. So we don't always want to, at times, we're going to stretch. You'll expose a tissue that's tight, open it up, and you might notice instability. But it's a good teacher. It teaches us, actually, I need more strength or more tension in this tissue to keep me really supported halfway there. Okay, now I'll let you just be with your breath. And allow for those full inhales. Keep the length of those and exhale. Just like cool, warm water flowing down. Inhale, hydrating, lengthening the spine. Exhale, softening the effort. So 2 more breaths. Take these breaths through your mouth or through your nose, but make sure you get a full breath. And all the way out. 1 more inhale. And then exhale, come out. Hands to the floor. Walk your hands forward. Give yourself space for a down dog. Lift your hips up and back. Well done. We've got a couple poses to go here. Stretch it out. Now from here, I want you to walk your hands back to your hips. To your feet, hands back to your feet, and then walk your feet forward slightly and take your hips back into the wall, right? So you're just leaning back against the wall. And then from here, you can bend your knees as much as you need to support the low back, or straighten your legs as much as feels right and safe to you. And then we're bowing forward. We're going to tension, open up the tissue of the thoracic spine, and maybe secondary, or maybe included in that, you're going to get the hamstrings. If it feels like too much and you don't want it in the hamstrings, bend your knees deeper. 2 minutes. 2 minutes here. Oh, that was 2 hours. I timed it for 2 hours. Let's go 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Forward fold. Your feet can be as close together or as far apart as feels good for you. Actually, for me, a little further apart feels better today, with a slight bend in the knees. Now you might even be in a chair for this one, just sitting in the chair, bowing forward. Take the inhales all the way to the sit bones. Exhales melt the middle of the spine. Halfway there. If you feel like you need to come out early, you can always rise up. No problem. 30 seconds to go. One more deep breath. Let it all the way out. Walk your hands up your leg. Lean against the wall and pause. Well done. All right, come up off the wall. So we're going to come down onto our back. We're going to take the last couple right at the wall. So come on down. You should be feeling pretty chill by now. Come onto your back. All right, check it. Take the legs wide, working the adductor muscles. Or you can bend the knees, Straight legs or bent knees. I'm going bent knees. 2 minutes. There you go. Bent knees, 2 minutes. So you're working the adductor muscles. If your feet are closer together and you feel it, cool. If your legs are further apart and it's working for you, cool. For me, it's just too much for 2 minutes. Where I want you to avoid feeling it is right at the inner edge behind the knee. Those are your hamstring attachments. I want you to try to hamstring and adductor. I want you to try to bring it more to that place between the pubic bone and the inner knee. So either bent knees or straight legs. Bending the knees for me tends to take it away from that inner hand. So frog pose at the wall. And you're halfway there already. When we're talking hydration, we gotta talk frog. Working that whole area, pelvis. So this pose helps to open up earth element. And then sitting on pond, earth element is the flow, water element. We're the home of frog. Can we keep our awareness on the fluidity, that stream of the breath? One more inhale. And then exhale. Bend your knees, take your legs back together. So knees bent, feet on the wall. Straighten your left leg, cross your right ankle over the left. Slide your left heel down the wall until you feel a stretch in your right glute. Take the arms out wide. We're looking to tension the right glute. So if you want more, you might move closer to wall. If you want less, you might move further away from wall. Just 1 minute here. One minute, tensioning the right hip, right glute. Eye of the needle pose at the wall. You might even have your foot up on your sofa, wherever it works. If you don't have a wall or a sofa, you can just be holding that left leg with your hands. But I assume somewhere there's a wall around you, unless you're outside right now. One more deep breath in. Exhale, melt the effort. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Last pose. Right leg up the wall. Bend the left knee. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Slide the right foot down. 1 minute, tensioning the left glute. Feel free to shift it left or right, further or closer to the wall, depending on the amount of tension. So remember, it's anywhere 5 to 50%. It doesn't have to be super intense. The little things mean a lot. Think of like a drip system into a garden. It just drips a little bit of water at a time. It hydrates the plant without drowning it. So a little bit. We don't want to overdo these poses. In yang yoga, where I'm moving form and flow, I'm going to make you work. In yin here, I'm going to ask you chill. Hydrate the tissue. Almost there. Halfway. Deep breath in. Exhale. Soften it. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Uncross it. So you can go legs up the wall for our last rebound, 1 minute, or you might stretch the legs straight out for Shavasana on the floor. Wherever you're at is cool. 1 minute, final rebound. 1 minute, final rebound. I think Shavasana.